Deuteronomy 22 verses 28 through 29. If a little girl is sexually assaulted, does she have to marry the man who did it?
Let me look at it.
More like a hit and collapse.
It doesn't say specifically little
It's
girl.
Adam's turn.
Oh, according to the Septuagint, it says little girl.
Okay, but nobody reads the Septuagint. Everybody reads the modern Bible.
The disciples read the disciples read the Septuagint.
Okay, so hold on.
Does the Septuagint doesn't say child virgin?
Septuagint doesn't
No.
does not mean
the Septuagint doesn't say child virgin.
First of all, we need to qualify that. I want to know what the word is.
Put it on the screen, man.
Yeah, you are.
I mean, when you speak to me, I asked you to do that, right?
Wait, give me big screen
to do it.
Okay, so can I answer?
Yes.
Okay,
wait,
so
Korra, what are you answering?
She said that I lied about the Septuagint, so we got to show her.
Okay.
No. I didn't say you lied about the Septuagint.
Not you. Saji that said it.
And
okay,
Bianca
it
said
seems
that
like we have three different conversations going on.
The meaning.
No, it's all about the same.
What does naʿarāh?
But it's three different conversations.
We're talking about the Septuagint. It says
three
paida.
people are asking her a question. Just Korra, answer whoever you want.
Well, I didn't hear any of the questions because they were all talking over each other.
Okay, so you're saying paida according to this translation? Or
paida. No. Paida in Greek means child. Paida is literally.
You don't have to say no. I know that the Septuagint is Greek. So this is.
What does paida mean?
What is? I'm going to check that from a different source. That's what I'm asking. Can you tell me what source you're using? You're using Study Light. Okay, thank you.
This is the Greek.
Study Light Interlinear. That's fine.
Yes, this is the Interlinear Study Bible.
So what I'm going to do, because I'm very honest, I'm going to go and compare it to see. But in the original Hebrew, it doesn't say little girl.
Yeah, it says naʿarāh, right?
It says naʿarāh bitullah.
What is naʿarāh?
Naʿarāh means a teenager.
Young unmarried virgin.
Wait, it means a teenager?
Young unmarried virgin.
The context matters.
Wait, young unmarried virgin. How young are we talking, chat?
A teenager. Naʿarāh.
Where does it say
child? A child is not called a naʿarāh. That's not.
Where does it say that?
Terminology.
Wait, where does it say teenager?
Because there's a word for child in Hebrew, and it's yeled.
Wait, I'm asking, where does it say teenager?
Because the Hebrew says naʿarāh. That's what you said, right?
Yeah, well, you said that means teenager.
I'm trusting your translation. So I'm telling you in Hebrew. Go ahead.
Wait, so can you prove to me that naʿarāh?
Okay, you guys are all talking. Hold on, she's responding to Bianca right now.
Can you prove that naʿarāh means teenager?
Naʿarāh means teenager because they're not marrying children off. It's not Islam. Okay,
are you sure?
So yes, 100%. What's funny?
So that's a good argument. Very good argument.
What do you mean?
Prove that naʿarāh means teenager,
like Adam said, it's a young woman of marrying age. So likely between the ages of 12 to 16 years old.
Wait, what's the marriageable age according to the Tanakh?
There is no specific age.
Exactly. So it doesn't matter what age. So you can't say marriageable age because there is no quote unquote marriageable age.
Well, we know actually that's incorrect. That's incorrect. And the reason why your argument is incorrect and you're laughing a little bit too soon is because we have many indicators within the text of the Tanakh that tell us what exactly it means to be of marrying age. So
can you give me one verse?
Sure. A lot of them are written within the context of the Song of Solomon, where it indicates a woman having developed breasts, a woman being
when does that happen? Wait, hold on. When does that happen typically in women? What stage of puberty?
Having full developed breasts.
Not Aisha for sure.
Yeah, don't be a weird piece of shit.
I'm just
saying. What do you mean? It's weird. What's weird about it? Baby? That's written in your text.
No, it's actually it's not. He's just being weird.
What's weird about it?
But wait, so first off, by the way, the Songs of Solomon, and you're also quoting the Book of Ezekiel. The Songs of Solomon and the Book of Ezekiel doesn't explicitly say fully developed. It just says developed. When does that happen?
Definitely not the age of 6.
Wait, when does that happen? Wait, hold on.
Okay, stop, Adam. Stop.
I'm just saying.
But wait, when does that
happen?
I'm asking you a question. When does that happen?
Go ahead.
Usually, having buds of breasts is early puberty, and so a woman doesn't have fully developed breasts that can lactate for a child until the end of their stages of puberty. So this is why the average age of understanding betrothal happened around 12 to 16 years old at this time.
No, there's no specific age for betrothal in the Bible.
No, we know. No, we do. It's not. Again, I'm the one who indicated to you that it's not explicitly written.
I'm not done talking.
Why aren't you letting Bianca finish her answer?
Yeah, she's been doing this the whole time. You know, Sajida,
I'm just getting here, and this whole thing sounds so confusing.
Sajida.
I've been slowing it.
Bianca, finish your answer, then let her respond.
Okay, so again, we have many indications within the Tanakh explaining when this happens. And don't forget that this is only the beginning of the betrothal period, which takes about a year. So even if children, unfortunately, are getting betrothed at 12 years old, they're not consummating that marriage until they're at least 13. And we know this based on anthropological, historical, and biblical scholars. There are many papers written about this. There's many scholars who've indicated this, and all of that is evident within the scriptures.
Okay, well, I didn't ask you about scholarship. I didn't ask you about historical context. I asked you about Bible verses.
To you. If you're asking specifically
hold on. I'm not done talking.
Come on, you have to let her respond.
I'm not done talking, so let's quiet down. The point that's being made is that biblically, you can't give me an age for marriage. All you can give me is broad statements such as breasts need to be developed or whatever it may be. And the point that's being made is typically, first off, the Bible doesn't say full breast development. That's a lie. It just says that the breasts are developed broadly. And that
one example. Wait a minute.
Yeah, and that typically happens between and that typically happens between the ages of 9 to, let's say, like 12, 13. Do you believe that like a 9-year-old to a 13-year-old can get like married?
No, not a 9-year-old.
So then wait, but those things can happen. Those things can happen at 9,
based on the historical record that people were getting betrothed around 12.
I'm not asking about that. I'm asking about the Bible.
But I'm answering what you're saying. So we know based on record, anthropologists have determined that between the ages of 12 to 16 was the betrothal period of young women.
I'm not asking you that. I'm asking about the Bible.
You are asking me that. You just don't like my answer. And that's the issue. You're continuously jumping around because I'm giving you a direct answer. And it doesn't satisfy you because you can't corner somebody.
No, it doesn't satisfy me because I'm asking about the Bible.
And I answered you. But what are you asking me for something? A number that doesn't exist?
Okay, we're both over talking.
Okay, so okay.
Yeah, you know that there's no number.
Okay, hold on, stop.
Yeah, so stop acting like it's about teenagers if you can't definitively tell me.
No, we know it's about teenagers because there's a word for child. There's a word for small child. You're a liar when you said the Bible says the Septuagint says the small child can da 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 da. That's a lie.
Septuagint does
you
say
lied.
That. Wait, the Septuagint does say
in
that.
The Hebrew,
Wait, but the Septuagint is Greek. Why are you talking about Hebrew?
But the Hebrew is a more authoritative text.
So the Greek
Hebrew, you're a Christian, you're a Christian.
Okay, we're all talking. We're all talking.
Hi, Dave.
Hi, Sajida. How's it going, love?
Good, thank you. I hope you're doing well.
Same to you.
Now,
okay.
Can I address?
Wait, hold on one second.
Hold on, now B. Wait, hold on.
Let me
just talk to you.
Why is Korra interrupting and jumping around like that?
Sajida,
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to B. I'm in the middle of speaking.
I
was talking to Dave.
Okay, I don't need the commentary, love. Korra, make your point. Let Bianca respond, please.
Yeah, so the Septuagint isn't quote unquote less authoritative than the Hebrew because when we read the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22, verses 28 through 29 in our typical Bible today, it's pulling from the Masoretic text, which is a 9th century recension, which by the way comes after Islam, and the Septuagint predates this by a lot. And also, the New Testament authors, when they quote the Old Testament, they're not quoting the Masoretic text, which is what the Bible typically is transmitting from today. They're quoting the Septuagint. So even according to the New Testament authors, the Septuagint is an authoritative and reliable source of information. Now, the reason why I referred to the Septuagint is because the Septuagint explicitly identifies the girl in this case as a child virgin. Do you agree with that, B? Okay, well then I'll show you.
By the way, wait 1 second. But Rando, I'm so glad that you brought this up because there it says explicitly for teenager it says you can also use naʿarāh or naʿarāh.
Right, but that just means
to identify them as teenagers.
Hang on. If you're gonna address
again, so thank you for affirming. Thank you for. There's nothing for you to speak on.
Because you're gonna get debunked as soon as I say
there's nothing for you to debunk.
I feel that
what is going on?
Okay.
She's literally proving me right and saying I'm going to debunk you with proving you right.
Yeah, it specifically said there's a difference between adolescent and child, youth.
Can I talk about
naʿarāh
lexical overreach or not?
No, not adolescent.
Okay.
Absolutely means teenager.
Hold on, stop. Korra, Bianca, are we done? Can I go to Sajida?
No, I'm gonna go ahead.
More.
Go ahead, Korra.
Yeah, I still got more. So the child virgin. The word in the Greek is paida. Paida is literally the root word for the word pedophilia, which literally means an attraction to children. So the girl in question is a paida, i.e. a child. Do you agree, B? Okay, so it's in front of your eyes. Do you want to deny it?
Absolutely, because in the original Hebrew it says teenager. You guys are laughing and you look very silly laughing.
So paida
Like,
does or doesn't
ultimately-
mean child?
It doesn't matter what paida means. or
It
the
does, because the
context,
Septuagint
because,
says
look,
paida.
But what's funny about it is ultimately there is an essence to the original Hebrew that isn't necessarily captured in the Greek. So it's easy for you to argue according to the Greek because you don't have the Hebraic thinking to be able to properly contextualize it. And that's the issue. So you're saying because in this time, in the Koine Greek, paida meant young child, we don't actually know the full context of the usage. So we don't know if that also could have meant teenager. The difference is in the original Hebrew, naʿal or naʿarāh does mean teenager. And
Wait,
it
so
is used
the
for
original
teenager.
Hebrew, but you're quoting,
And we know
you're
this.
quoting the,
But in the
you're
Greek,
quoting
it
the
does
Masoret.
also
Wait,
mean a
hold
young
on.
person.
Let
Hold
Korra
on.
respond.
It means child.
Wait, so first off, yeah, paida in the Greek does automatically mean child. We all know that.
No, it doesn't.
No.
It does
Wait,
mean a
so
young
paida
person.
doesn't mean child?
It does
Doesn't
mean a young
matter.
person
It doesn't
too.
matter though,
It
because
can
the
mean a
Wait,
young
Hebraic
it doesn't.
person.
context.
I'm hearing a lot of disagreeing.
Stop,
Does it mean child or does it not?
Korra is saying a word means something. You have somebody saying, no, it doesn't. And then you have somebody else saying, well, it doesn't matter. It does.
Can I explain?
Wait, so paida doesn't mean child. It's a yes or no, Sajda.
No.
It can mean
It's
a
not.
young person.
It is a yes or
one
no.
second.
Does paida
Okay,
means
wait,
child?
just
Does
yes
paida
or
mean
no.
child?
Bianca, does it mean child? Yes or no?
The context in which it's used, absolutely not.
Okay, well, what about the context?
She's arguing based on a very sterile.
What
Let
about
me
the
explain.
context makes you think it's not about a child?
Because the original Hebrew says teenager. I don't understand how that's not like computing in your brain.
Wait,
It sounds
so
like the servant-slave
only
conversation.
means teenager?
No, it's not. It's
funny you
not.
should
The
use those two
difference,
words,
it's
Dave.
absolutely not the servant slave. She's using something in order to argue something without the proper context. Again, this is what I'm explaining.
I've read the context of Deuteronomy.
No, there is no context unless you have understanding of the Greek or the Roman or whatever culture, or the Hellenistic culture at the time, and the way it was used and the way it was translated into Hebrew. They were using
It was translated
Greek,
into Hebrew?
1 second. No. Back and forth. The way that it was used, you're taking a Hebraic context, translating it into Greek, and then arguing based on the Greek usage of a word without the context that was behind it. That is a disingenuous way to argue this. Especially
No, it's not
using
disingenuous.
a translation.
I'm just quoting the Septuagint with I'm just quoting the Septuagint with your New Testament authors quote.
There are people who dedicate their entire lives. 1 second, Adam. There are people who dedicate their entire lives to understand the context in which these Hebraic terms were translated into Greek, and you're simplifying it and bastardizing this concept in order to make an argument that doesn't exist. Why the Hebrew is more authoritative? It doesn't matter if it means child or not. What matters is the way it was used according to the Hebrew context. And the Hebrew tells us.
Matter because I'm asking you a question.
I know that it's really hard for you.
Okay, no problem. Dead end. There's no point in going back and forth.
I know the answer.
A dead end.
Oh,
Wait,
what do you mean it's not a dead end? You've been on for 5 minutes about what a word means. She put it up on the screen.
Can I
translates.
Answer?
Go ahead, Sajda.
Wait, so does it's a yes or no? Does paida mean
answering. No. You don't get to dictate how I answer.
Wait, no.
I do.
No. You can't say, can I answer? And then she asks you the same question. You say you're not going to dictate.
I'm going to answer her paida claims.
No, I'm asking you, does paida mean child?
Okay.
Yes or no?
So when you go to the Greek English lexicons, you could clearly see that this word paida has several different meanings.
So there's no yes or no.
Let me explain the word. I don't know why you're copping out, Korra.
Wait, so it's a yes or no. Does it mean child?
You should allow me to answer.
Yeah, and you should answer with a yes or no.
I don't know why that
mean child.
I haven't even started with you yet.
Okay, Sajda, can you answer that question
does
directly?
Paida mean child?
I am,
yes or no?
Dave, if you're paying attention, I am.
But to me, whenever I say, does this word mean blank? It is a yes or no answer.
Meanings, Dave. So it's not a yes or no answer. It depends on the context.
Oh, okay,
so
then I'll ask you this question. Can it mean child?
I'm still speaking, Korra.
Wait, I'll ask you a question. Can it mean child?
No, I'm still speaking. This word, can mean servant. It can mean slave. It could be man. It could be maid, child, boy, girl, maid, young lady, people of all ages. It depends on the context. So what you're doing is being disingenuous with the word, and you're automatically saying that this means a little girl, and this is overreach.
It's
Okay,
not
so
disingenuous.
Tansy-
Okay,
You
and
have to-
wait, hold on.
no,
So,
you
so
are
now
being
I'm gonna have to break it
disingenuous.
down for
You'd have
Sajid.
to
We're
use
gonna have
the
to teach her a little
context.
bit. So we are gonna
You
use the
have to use the
context.
context.
Okay,
Nothing
sorry.
about the
Hold on,
context.
I'm not done.
Sajid,
So what you would
Sajid,
have to
You
do
are
is
done. You answered the question.
substantiate your claim.
Guys,
You are done. Now I'm gonna
No, I'm
substantiate
not
my
done.
claim.
To
Sajid,
substantiate
You
your
are.
claim.
Sajid,
Yes,
stop.
Dave.
Let her respond, and then you can go
Respond to
again.
what? I'm not done yet.
Okay, I want to hear from Korra. I'll
Okay,
state it
sure.
a different way. No problem.
Okay, so
Just
she
let
said,
her
it
say what
has.
she wants to say,
Okay.
and then I'll let you go back at her.
So now this is called muddying the waters. It's called, this word has multiple meanings and it encompasses all ages. Now, what's the traditional usage for paida? Typically what it means is a child. There's nothing about the context that excludes this whatsoever. So unless she wants to provide some sort of context from verses 28 through 29 to refute the idea that this means what it traditionally means, which is child, then there's no argument to be made here. And second off, even if we say it encompasses young boy, young girl, boy, girl, people of all ages, quote unquote, we agree that paida traditionally means child. The Latin Vulgate, Jerome's Latin Vulgate, understands it to mean child. He also understands it to mean sexual assault. Same with the Greek. And the Hebrew motivates this understanding as well. So even if you have a problem with this usage in the Greek, the Latin Vulgate, which is translated from Greek, Jerome agrees. Augustine agrees. The Greek and its traditional usage agrees. If you want to sit here and argue about the Hebrew, we can argue back and forth about the Hebrew, but when we contextualize all of these different recensions, it will also agree.
Okay, so what you're going to have to do,
may I respond to
Nope,
that?
I
Oh
just
my
want to
God.
hear Sajida. Good,
Okay.
Sajida, respond,
So what she's
please.
going to have to do to substantiate her claims that this is talking about a little girl, right, is she's got to go into Deuteronomy and prove to us that marrying little girls is allowed. She has to go to the law itself to provide evidence that this would be talking about a little girl. Because now what she's doing is ignoring the context of the verse she's using. She's using she's ignoring the context of Deuteronomy itself. She's ignoring the Hebrew. She's ignoring everything else that be brought up to her just so that she could make it seem like this verse is talking about little girls. You're going to have to substantiate that claim.
Okay,
Okay.
so
You
does
haven't done
the
that.
Hebrew exclude, does the Hebrew exclude children?
The context within the
Wait, no,
verses
answer the
itself
question.
in
Answer the
Deuteronomy.
question.
Hold on, I'm not done.
Wait, no. You have to
Let
answer
me
my question
answer. Let me
explicitly.
answer.
Does the Hebrew exclude children, Sajda?
Yes, because in Deuteronomy, when you're reading it, you can clearly see that the law is speaking about females that are old enough to be married, right? Females that are old enough to be having sexual intercourse. So what you're going to have to
Yeah,
do
but there's
is
no
go
age
to,
for that
I'm not
in the
done.
Bible.
I'm not done. What you're going to have to do is go into the law and bring us evidence that anywhere in our Torah says that we can defile little girls.
Okay. Now, first off, B actually already conceded that there's no age for marriage and there's no age for consummation in the Bible. Now, that already muddies the waters enough.
No,
now,
it doesn't. You're
I'm
gonna
in the
have to
middle of
substantiate that
talking,
we're
so be
told
quiet.
we
Sajida, she
defile
let
little
you.
girls.
Sajida,
I'm in the
she
middle
let
of
you
talking,
talk
so be
read
long.
quiet.
29. Dave,
I'm in the middle of talking, so
let
be
her read
quiet.
29, please.
Okay.
Dave, the
Amen.
answer is in the
Wait,
Septuagint, next
Adam,
verse
I
29.
don't know what you're doing, Adam. Okay,
I'm just giving her an answer.
Okay,
It's in the next verse in
I
the
appreciate
Septuagint,
you. I'll bring
29.
you back up shortly. Sajida, she let you answer. Please let her answer. Go ahead.
Okay. So, first off, she didn't answer my question because my question was, does the Hebrew of Deuteronomy 22, verse 28, does it exclude children? Can I get an answer to that? It's a yes or no. Does it exclude children?
Sajida, yes or no?
Did answer her. I don't know why she's saying
It's
it.
a yes
Okay,
or
can
no.
you
Then
answer
answer.
again?
Yes, it does because again,
Okay,
So
when
no
you
wait,
go
so
to
the Hebrew, wait, so the Hebrew of Deuteronomy
okay, so I'm not
22
allowed to
excludes
answer?
children.
Wait, it's a yes, no. Like
Answer
I
today.
So the
Okay,
Hebrew, so the
okay.
Hebrew excludes children according to her. So she just lied because according to she wants to appeal to lexicons. We can appeal to lexicons as well. According to the lexicons that we can look at, naʿarāh also allows for the context of little girls, young girls, and things of that nature. So no, it doesn't exclude children.
You didn't ask me about a specific word. We're talking about a context.
Stop right there. Wait.
Wait,
so
no,
you
I
would
asked you,
admit
does
that
the
it
Hebrew...
includes...
No, I did
wait,
actually ask you.
She just
I asked you,
admitted
does
something.
the Hebrew... Wait,
So
hold
you
on.
just
I asked you,
admitted that it includes
hold on,
teenagers.
wait, hold on, be quiet. So,
Wait, no.
wait, hold on.
So you admit that it actually
Sorry, I didn't mean to
includes
say that. I didn't mean to say
teenagers.
that.
Wait,
You irritated me. I didn't mean to say that.
Hold on one second. B and Sajida, listen, it's 2-on-1. Okay, just chill out and take turns. It's not
Can you
hard.
give me a chance to speak after?
Of course.
Thank you.
Korra, I don't know who was answering, to be honest.
Well, I was asking Sajida a question, and then she answered, to which I refuted her, because she said that I asked her a specific question. Maybe she didn't hear me. I asked, does the Hebrew of Deuteronomy 22, verse 28, does it exclude children? That was my question. To which she said, yes, the Hebrew excludes children. B, do you agree that the Hebrew excludes children?
Contextually, according to the chapter, yes.
I said according to the Hebrew itself.
No,
Does the
I
word
answered
naʿarāh
directly exactly how I
so let me
meant
ask
to
you this.
answer.
Does the word naʿarāh, does it exclusively mean teenagers and not children, or can it apply to children
Why
as
are
well?
you playing word games?
Wait,
when we both
do
are
you
telling
admit-
you that
He's the one that
context
appealed to the Hebrew
excludes
first.
it.
Second.
Okay,
One second.
Bianca
He
or
appealed to the Hebrew
Sajida,
first.
should I just drop one of you? Okay.
You can drop
It's
whoever,
fine.
but I
They can
have
both
a...
talk. It's fine. They can both talk. That's not a problem. It's just
Here, the issue. The issue is, so do you admit that it includes teenager?
a teenager, quote unquote. Yeah, I mean, a teenager can be a child. Yeah, a teenager can be a child. So,
Oh, wait,
yeah.
so you admit? Okay, so there's nothing to argue. So
Yeah, a teenager can be a child.
So thank you for conceding to that. That
Yeah, a teenager can be a
could
child.
Absolutely be. No, but a teenager can be a naʿarāh.
What? You stopped laughing.
So
the
you
second heard that.
admitted.
You
so
stopped
you
laughing the
admit.
second you processed
So you
what
would
I
admit
said.
that the scripture
You
could in
stopped
fact be
laughing the
speaking
second
about
you
a
processed
teenager.
what I said. Oh Lord.
No. I'm laughing because you're trying to twist it. So you
you're
admit that
you're
this
actually
verse could
being
very
a laughable
well.
individual.
Wait. Let's clarify.
So,
So you're admitting.
does
One
naʿarāh
second.
exclusively mean teenagers, or can it encompass
In the
children as well?
context, in the context of this chapter,
I'm asking about the Hebrew word specifically. We're not talking
we
about the
Can I
chapter
get my
itself.
Now let's
question
move on.
answered, though,
Wait,
really
one
quick?
second.
You appealed to the Hebrew word
So
itself.
you admit.
So we're
We've
talking
been
about the
going.
Hebrew word
This
itself.
is the dawah. This
B,
is the dawah girl.
can naʿarāh
This
mean
is what the
child?
dawah girls do. They put us on the hamster wheel to
B,
admit that we
can
were right the whole
naʿarāh mean
time.
child?
Oh my God, I love
Wait,
it.
B,
But
can
you know what's
naʿarāh mean
interesting?
child?
Let me use an example from the
B,
scriptures,
can
right?
naʿarāh mean child?
Korra, what was the Septuagint
B,
written in? What
answer
language?
my question. Can naʿarāh mean child?
Greek.
What was the language of what
Answer
language
the
was the
question.
Septuagint
Can naʿarāh
written
mean
in?
child? Babe?
Guys, we're hitting a dead end where nobody's
No,
answering.
I'm trying to
My
get out of the
question
dead
was
end.
never
I'm trying to get out.
answered,
I'm trying to
Okay,
get
but
us out
she's
of here.
asking you a direct question.
My direct
She
question
already
was never
admitted.
answered,
Wait,
Dave.
I don't think you're understanding what she's saying. She
All I
admitted that
hear
we
her
were right
say
the whole time.
directly, does so and so mean so and so?
She's trying to keep us in a corner because she looks silly now. She admitted we were right the whole time.
Wait,
She
right about
literally
what?
just admitted that we were
teenagers
talking
can be
about
children?
teenagers. That teenagers are now
Wait, can
Okay,
teenagers? Wait,
let's-
yeah, I agree. Teenagers can be children. No problem.
So she admitted that the verse could
Let's
very
get
well
some
be
argument.
speaking about teenagers. So she
Yeah,
wasted all
teenagers
of
that
our
are
time.
children. Yeah, teenagers.
You
Okay.
understand?
Dave, can I get my
All right,
question
can I let
answered?
Sajida get in, please?
Wait, I just no, but
Thank
there's
you.
one point
Okay,
I
guess
wanted
not.
to
Go ahead,
make.
B. Go ahead, B. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, because this is amazing. This is amazing. So do we agree that the Septuagint is written in Koine Greek?
The Septuagint is a translation of Hebrew into Greek. Yes.
Okay, but Koine Greek, right? The universal language at the time, the
Sure.
lingua franca. Okay, great,
Sure, no
fabulous. All right, the same language that the New Testament was written in, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So if we go to Acts 20, there's a spectacular verse that will put this conversation completely to bed. And it says, if you go Acts 20, verse 9, if you want to go there with me. I'm reading from the NASB, by the way, if you want to.
That's fine.
Okay. So it says, and there was a young man named Eutychus sitting on the windowsill, sinking into a deep sleep. Remember, it says he was a young man, right? And as Paul kept on talking, Eutychus was overcome by sleep and fell down from the third floor and was picked up dead. But Paul went down and fell upon him. And after embracing him, he said, do not be troubled, for he is still alive. So this young man falls from a window, goes up, they pick him up. And then it says, when Paul had gone back up and broken the bread and eaten, he talked with them a while until daybreak and then left. And you know what verse 12 says? It says, they took away the boy alive and were greatly comforted. And in the Koine Greek, this young man is called a paida.
Thank you.
Well, but Sajida already conceded that.
He's literally.
Wait, we already agreed on that.
I corrected
young
you on
man.
that.
We already agreed.
I just wanted to.
Do you think this is this is not the dunk?
She's
you
saying
think
we
it is?
already agreed on
I
that.
Wait,
corrected
that's
you
not
on
the.
that.
This is not the dunk. Wait, hold on.
give
That wasn't a
This is not the
concession.
dunk.
That
Hold
was
on,
your
hold on.
correction.
This is
She
not the
kept us-
dunk that she thinks it is.
It
because
really
we
No, it
already
really
agreed.
is.
It really is.
Well, wait,
it really
wait,
nailed
one
you,
moment.
babe.
Why?
I
Why are you
really
guys being
nailed you.
obnoxious?
If it really
You
was,
got
you
caught
would
up.
let her.
Obnoxious
you would let her
is
be
you
buzzed.
thinking that you were going to corner us for an hour about the meaning of paida, and is it a child? So
we
by this
literally
argument, wait, let's just
paida
button this
means
up.
different things in different contexts.
But you were lying, and you said this is just about a child being raped.
No, yeah, I
when
said
in
that
reality,
is about a child. Yeah,
when in reality, the New Testament clarifies and testifies to the fact that a young man was also called a paida. So you lied.
Fine. Yeah, we already agreed that paida can have different meanings.
Okay, so why did you lie?
I didn't say paida only means child.
No, you were saying exclusively about a little girl.
You absolutely were arguing that this is about a little girl.
Yeah, I said that Deuteronomy 22
So you were wrong or you lied?
Wait, hold on. Did I say that paida only means
you
child?
lied?
Okay, let her respond, please.
Wait, why is B being obnoxious?
No, because
I'm saying obnoxious.
I want to hear from Korra.
Now they're just being embarrassing. So this is not the gotcha that you think it is, because we already agreed that paida means different things in different contexts.
Can it be my turn?
So you were arguing. You were
arguing.
Bianca, I beg you, please let her
Do you guys
talk.
lack self-control?
Okay.
I'm sorry. After
it's
them
okay.
laughing,
You're excused. Don't worry.
And thinking that they had
the point that's being made. It's okay. I forgive you. I forgive you. It's okay. I forgive you. Now, the point that's being made is we already agreed that paida does not only mean child. So you're actually answering something that we already agreed on like 20 minutes ago. Maybe you're just like, you were processing it a bit slower than the rest of us. So that doesn't prove anything. The point, no.
Well, really?
Now, the point that's being made.
The original argument was that God allows for little girls who are raped to be forced to marry their aggressors.
Come on, we've gone this far without showtime.
As if it makes it better if they were teenagers that have to marry their rapists.
She's like,
I don't even know what you guys are arguing.
Wait, she said, do you agree that naʿarāh means teenager? Yeah, I agree a teenager can be a child. And then she's like, oh, I got you.
We can address the rest.
You, man.
You did. You said, I can't wait till the replay goes up.
Yeah, a teenager.
When the replay goes up, we see the original argument and how you argued with us for an hour about how paida means little girl.
Means child.
So now you can see that it doesn't just mean little girl, and so it could absolutely.
I never said that it just means little girl. I said paida conventionally is used as child.
So why were you arguing that this is in reference to a little girl?
Because it is in reference to a little girl. Contextually,
based on contextually, you just agreed that it's not.
Yeah, according to the Latin.
So then what you're doing is lying,
and even according to the Hebrew.
Okay, Dave, can I go?
But
Sajida, you ask me one more time. Okay, Bianca, we're good. Korra, do you want to say anything before I go to Sajida?
Is there anything I didn't address? Oh yeah, wait. There was one thing I didn't address. So. Interestingly enough, the reason why I asked whether or not the Hebrew excludes children is because the Hebrew doesn't exclude children. The Septuagint doesn't exclude children. The Latin Vulgate doesn't exclude children. There's not a single recension that excludes children, because naʿarāh in the Hebrew can mean child. Paida in the Greek can mean child. The Latin Vulgate can translate it as child. And there is no exclusion whatsoever. So unless they want to concede that, yeah, this verse can apply to children, then, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. So B, do you agree that according to the language that's being used in this verse, according to the Septuagint, according to the Hebrew, according to the Vulgate, can this verse apply to children?
Oh, because it doesn't.
Yeah, but naʿarāh means child in some context. You agree?
Contextually, no.
I didn't ask you that. I asked you, can the Hebrew word mean child?
Again, I'm going to answer you according to
can the Hebrew word mean child?
Contextually, it absolutely doesn't talk about children.
I didn't ask you that. I asked you, can the Hebrew word mean child?
What you want to do is you want to lie about the
I didn't ask you that. I asked you, can the Hebrew word mean child?
In order to try to make an argument to justify.
Can you answer my question?
All right, so everybody knows that answer. It is what it is.
Contextually,
yes. Okay, then
not about
I'm not going to ask.
And you agree that it's not about a child.
So I'm not going to ask the question. I'm just going to make the claim. naʿarāh can mean child. Paida can mean child. All of these words, and in every single one of these verses, does not exclude children whatsoever. So unless you want to make an argument from the language itself that this verse excludes children, I don't know what to tell you, man. Sajida, do you want to prove that it excludes children?
Yeah, it's my turn.
Okay, good.
Sajida, prove to me that it excludes children.
I want to address a couple of things that she's doing here. First, I asked for a direct question from her that she never answered. Like 20 minutes ago, I asked her to prove to us that these verses directly and explicitly are speaking about little girls, like how she's trying to pose it. That's the first thing. She never answered that. She's unable to prove that. Second, she's also, I'm not going to say she's lying, but she definitely misunderstands the context of these verses. Because when we go to Deuteronomy 22, verses 25 to 27 is clearly about grape, and it's punishable by unalivement. Then when we go to verses 28 to 29, you can clearly see through the context in the Hebrew that this is not the same as the previous verses, so it wouldn't be considered grape. Then Deuteronomy literally means second law, meaning it's being repeated. So when we go to the Exodus verses where this is being spoken about, you can see that it's consensual and that it's not a forced marriage. So she's not taking the Bible or the Torah, I should say, holistically. What she's doing is isolating verses, lying on the meanings, and trying to twist it to equate it to Islam, because we all know that Islam has a child marriage problem. And it makes her feel better to run to the Bible and lie on the Bible so she can say, you guys have it too, so that she can feel better about her religion. But I would definitely like to have the conversation with her about child marriage in Islam, because the Quran does specifically and explicitly state that chapter 65 for the second category of wives is talking about girls who have not yet menstruated. I'm able to go to a verse in your book to explicitly show you that we're talking about girls that have not yet menstruated, but you can't do the same thing for the Torah. You'd have to lie into
No,
it.
see, all right. Let's address those claims.
Guys, hold up.
Okay, I'm
David
getting rid of Bombia. I don't know what the fuck she's doing.
All right, well,
Sajida,
W Bambi though, W Bambi.
all right,
okay,
let's respond to the claims real quick.
go ahead, Korra.
All right, so she made, let's say, two claims first. So first, she says, well, you're not capable of explicitly proving that this is about children. Yeah, well, I already established, and this is a point that you guys can't disprove, that this encompasses children because of the language that's being used. It's very simple. Naʿarāh can mean child. Paida can mean child. You can't prove to me that it doesn't mean child in this context whatsoever, which means by definition it would encompass children due to the language that's being utilized.
Exclusively mean children.
I'm not done
She
talking.
has to talk uninterrupted. She
I'm not done
sat there
talking.
and listened to Sajida. Go on. Go,
Okay.
Korra.
So the language includes children. So if you want to agree that the language includes children, then you also have to agree that the ruling in Deuteronomy 22, verse 28 through 29 includes children. Now, Sajida brings the second thing that people try to lie about when it comes to verses 28 through 29. She brings up two claims that we all know about, if you know this argument. Number one, she says that this verse isn't actually about assault, but rather verses 25 through 26 are about assault. Now, yes, 25 and 26 are about assault, but so are 28 and 29. So then we ask, what's the distinction between these two? The distinction is that in 25 and 26, the girl is betrothed to another man. That's the distinction. So in 25 through 26, the girl is betrothed to another man, which means she's already promised to someone else. So if she is assaulted, what happens is that the man is put to death because she is promised to another man. She's going to get married to someone else. Now in 28 through 29, the girl is not betrothed. She's not promised to anybody. And that's why the ruling is different. The ruling is different because in one verse she's betrothed and in another verse she's not. Then she utters this claim about Deuteronomy meaning second law. Sure. But you also have to agree, unless you're an ignoramus when it comes to the book of Deuteronomy, that Deuteronomy, although is called second law, there are new laws introduced in the book of Deuteronomy that are not mentioned in the rest of the Torah. So even if you want to reiterate that point and say, okay, this is just another law that's being contextualized, she's going to bring up a verse in Exodus, which we can easily refute. There is no argument being made because there are new laws being introduced in the book of Deuteronomy. So she already conceded that based on the language, naʿarāh can mean child, paida can mean child, they have different meanings. And that in and of itself already concedes the argument, because if you agree that the language that's being used encompasses children, then you agree that the ruling encompasses children as well. It's as simple as that. And when we can argue about whether or not it's about assault regardless, but she can respond now.
Good, Saj.
Okay, so I think I want to address her biggest blunder first, and we can go point by point, just so that everyone can understand what's going on. First thing I want to address is like your biggest logical error that you made, right? Your reasoning behind like these words like naʿarāh and paida is essentially you trying to say that the law encompasses prepubescent children. You still haven't been able to prove this explicitly, like the way I went to the Quran and I proved it explicitly to be about young girls who have not yet menstruated, right? So that conclusion, what you're doing, doesn't follow when it comes to like the lexical possibilities and what the lexicons say. You are ignoring the context of these verses and just cherry picking these words. So what you would need to do is, again, explicitly provide a verse that the Torah is speaking about young girls who have not yet menstruated, like the way your Quran does. Can you do that for us?
All right, so she didn't address most of what I said, to be honest with you.
No, we're going one point at a time.
Wait, that's not what we're going to do, because then we're going to get stuck. That's why I responded to like 3 claims, and then you respond, but regardless, we can try.
Respond to this.
No, we can try. So, first off, you didn't bring up an example from the Quran that explicitly says, quote,
Chapter
unquote, young girls who
65,
have
verse
not...
4.
Yeah, the same verse that says Nisa, it doesn't say young girls who have not menstruated. The verse doesn't say that. If you want to bring up tafasir... Well, yeah, وَلَا إِلَمْ يُحِضْ. Does that mean child?
وَلَهِ لَمْ يَحِدْنَا. I didn't say child.
Wait, you said young girl who has not yet menstruated.
Young girls who have not yet... Wait, hold on. I'm using the...
Does وَلَا إِلَمْ يُحِضْ, does that mean young girl who has not yet menstruated?
Hold on. I'm using the terms that are being used in the Quran. I'm not like you. I'm not going to read anything into the Quran,
wait, so,
right?
so does... Wait, so is what you just...
It means those who have not yet menstruated. And when you go to your tafsir...
No, it does not mean yet.
Hold on,
No.
Korra,
First off, it doesn't say yet. Wait, do you speak Arabic?
Korra, I'm not done.
Wait, you lied, so I'm going to have to call you out.
Korra, I'm not done.
You lied, so I'm going to have to call you out real quick.
So chapter 65, verse 4 in the Quran has 3 categories of wives. The first category is ones that are too old and have not yet menstruated.
Have not yet menstruated and pregnant.
Korra, you all right, buddy?
Yeah, I am all right, so but you're lying. So we call you out. Sajida, do you speak Arabic?
Oh, okay. You can when I'm done.
Sajida, do you speak Arabic?
So the first category of wives...
Sajida, you're not going to lie. Do you speak Arabic?
Okay, hold on one second. What did she lie about?
I'll
tell you what she lied about, Dave.
Okay, stop.
So the reason why I interrupted her is because she lied, and I don't allow people to lie.
I don't care. You can't interrupt.
Well, I don't care either. When you lie, you get interrupted and you get corrected.
You've been lying on the Bible for hours, and
no, I really have. I mean, you've yet to prove I'm lying. So I mean,
we just did.
Okay, stop.
Okay. But regardless, she made the claim that the Quran. Wait, hold on. She said verbatim. She said verbatim. That the Quran. Oh my God! Stop being obnoxious.
You can't handle your faith.
Okay, are we already at a dead end between you two? If we're at a dead end,
this is just getting embarrassing, bro.
No, we're not at a dead end, Dave, because we just got on the Quran.
Wait, whoa, we're not fully
so now
going
we
to the
can
Quran.
see Korra dance for real.
Wait, we're not fully going to the Quran.
Chapter 65, verse 4 of the Quran.
Deuteronomy 22,
Korra, address it.
Wait, you haven't addressed Deuteronomy 22 fully
yet.
I'll address 65.
You were not able to provide any evidence to us that the verses you brought.
Let her respond, Sajida.
Yo, why are you being obnoxious? Look at this girl, bro. Listen, Sajida.
Stop.
The point that's being made is you brought up 65:4 to parallel to Deuteronomy 22. You tried to bring up a parallel.
No, that's not what I did.
You gotta let her talk,
you said verbatim, just as I brought you explicitly in the Quran. Where the Quran, oh Lord, this girl's so freaking obnoxious. Now, the point is, you said, and I quote, I brought up a specific instance in the Quran where it mentions girls who have not yet menstruated. Can you bring me something like that from the Bible? That is literally called a parallel. Well, first off, since you don't speak Arabic, we're going to have to kind of educate you a little bit. The Quran does not, quote unquote, say girls who have not yet menstruated, or individuals who are too young to have menstruated, or whatever it may be. You're not pulling that from the Quran. وَلَا إِلَمْ يُحِضْن does not mean a girl who has not yet menstruated, quote unquote. It just means the ones who have not menstruated. That's all it means in Arabic. So if you're a bit ignorant to this point, maybe I can educate you a bit. But again, that's a deflection from Deuteronomy 22. So since it's a deflection, we're going to have to bring you right back to the point so you don't run to Islam. We're going to keep pressing you on this. You already agreed that in the Hebrew and in the Greek, it encompasses children. And since it encompasses children and you cannot prove from either language that it excludes children, then we automatically factor children into the ruling itself. Can you disprove that? Can you prove to me that it doesn't mean children?
That's not how the Torah works, number one.
Wait, can you prove that the Torah excludes children?
can you stop being a
No,
heathen
I
and let
asked
me
you
finish?
to do something.
No, I'm going to
I
respond the way
asked
I
you to
want.
do something.
I
asked you a
just
question.
ran away from chapter 65
I
verse
asked you
4.
a question
It's
because you
okay,
brought
I'm
it
gonna
up to
bring you back
deflect, and
to
I'm
it.
not
Dave,
gonna let
can I
you
answer?
deflect. Wait, she brought up
What is going on
65:4
here?
to deflect.
Okay,
so
I
we're not
don't
gonna
feel
I'm
let
not
it's
you
going
deflecting.
anywhere. Should I go
I'm
back
not.
to Adam?
No, please
No.
no.
Let's finish this up.
Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
The point that's being
So
made
why
is that
can't I
wait, hold on.
speak?
I asked you a question.
Dave,
Can you
why
reiterate
can't
what
I
I asked you to
speak?
do?
Okay, Sajida, respond. Go ahead.
Sure. So again, we asked her several times to provide us evidence that these verses are explicitly speaking
Okay, so
about
you guys
children.
are stop. She's asking you questions, you're not answering, and vice versa. So
I've
it's a
already
dead end.
answered. I've already answered.
She didn't answer. But wait, what did I ask
did.
you? What did I ask you?
I 100% answered.
What did I ask you? If you answered,
I
what did I
asked
ask you?
you, I
didn't
told you
ask you
that
what
the
you
Okay, so
context of the
you're proving my
verses
point.
mean what they
You're
mean.
proving
What
my
the heck?
point.
She didn't answer my question. She doesn't
I
even remember
did.
what my question was.
I 100% addressed your claims when it comes
I
to
asked you to
Deuteronomy.
answer a question.
You have not addressed chapter
I'm asking you
65
to answer
verse 4
because you're
you don't
deflecting
want
to
to be
Islam, and I'm not
pressed
going to let you.
on your faith because
You're
you're afraid.
deflecting, and
Because
I'm
you
not
know
allowing you to do it.
child marriage
You're
is allowed in Islam,
deflecting,
and
and
you're
I'm
trying
not
to find that
allowing
in
you
the
to do
Bible.
it.
And we
You're
gave you the opportunity
deflecting,
to
and
prove
I'm
Okay,
not
it.
allowing
We
guys,
gave you the
this is pointless.
opportunity to
I'd
prove
rather
it.
He's
listen to
deflecting like hell and back,
Bianca
bro.
or Adam. It's not going anywhere.
She didn't
Yeah,
answer
so
any of my
when she
questions,
talks,
Dave.
Do you agree
when
that the verse
She
encompasses
didn't
children as well based
answer
on the language?
any of my questions.
Okay,
Dave.
Sajida,
Do
we
you
get it.
agree?
You didn't answer, Korra.
Do you agree that the language encompasses children?
You did not answer.
Okay,
No,
all right,
that's
Do
not
Sajida,
you
I'm going to
agree
move on
that
to
the language
Adam.
encompasses
I'm going to
children?
move on to
that
Adam,
these
Sajida.
verses are about little girls.
Wait, do you agree that the language
Oh my
You're
encompasses
God.
ignoring the
children?
context. You've already. I
Why is
baked
she
you, Korra.
running to the
You're
Quran when we're talking
baked.
about the Bible?
You're baked,
Why is she
Korra.
running to Islam when we're talking about
I
her
used it
religion?
as an example.
You're running
Because
to
child marriage is in
Islam.
Islam, not
You're
in Christianity.
terrified right now. You
Because
don't like
child marriage is in
this.
Islam.
You're
That's
so
why.
uncomfortable.
That's why.
What am I scared
You're
of?
so uncomfortable, Sajida. Just
I'm
answer. Does the
absolutely not
language encompass
uncomfortable at
children?
all. You're
Just
projecting.
answer. Does the language encompass children?
It doesn't matter. You're ignoring the
I'm
context.
asking
I
you.
already
So it doesn't
answered
matter?
that.
Wait, I'm asking you a question.
No,
It's yes or no.
you're
Does the language encompass
ignoring the
children?
context.
Does the
None of the
language
context in the
encompass
Torah.
children?
All right,
Korra.
Sajida, do you want to answer her question, yes
Yeah,
or no?
sure. The Torah does not explicitly state that these verses
ask
are
you
about
that.
little girls.
I didn't
And I
ask you
asked her
that.
to provide evidence
I
that
did
they
not
do.
ask you that. She's
And
answering
see,
a
Dave,
question I
you're
didn't ask
asking me
her.
to answer.
She did. She
keeps
did provide you
interrupting. You're gonna
evidence.
keep letting
She's
her
answering a
interrupt.
question I didn't ask her.
Are you gonna keep letting her interrupt?
She's
Dave?
answering a
'Cause I'm
question I didn't ask
confused.
her. You're not getting away from this. You're not running away from
Yeah.
this. Does
We
the
asked
language
you.
encompass
We
children?
asked
Yes or no?
you to provide evidence that
Does
these
the
verses are
language
explicitly about
encompass
little girls,
children? Yes
and you
or
have
no?
not been able to provide that evidence.
Does the
Korra.
language
You're cooked.
encompass children? Yes
You're
or
Dave,
no?
cooked.
we already answered
All
this. Come
right,
on,
go.
man.
Let me
Yes
hear.
or no, Sajida?
You're cooked, Korra. You were
Does
not
the
able
language
to
encompass
provide
children?
evidence
Yes
for
or
your
no?
claims. You're
Dave,
done.
Does the
Okay,
language
Dave,
encompass children?
You're
Yes
I
or no?
done,
believe.
bro.
Oh
all right,
my,
stop,
Dave.
Sajida, please. Can I hear
Oh
from
Lord.
Adam?
This girl's in the she's in the
Oh my
tightest corner
God,
right now, and she
so
doesn't know what to do.
embarrassing.
The second she answers this, the
Second
argument's
time, I want to
conceded.
hear from Adam.
Okay, Dave, I believe Sajida and I already told her that in the Septuagint itself, it can have different meaning. That's one. Two, verse 20, if she goes to 29 in the Greek, it mentions there niece, which I mean it talks about young woman. So I believe we're done with that. She's keep going back
No,
and
no, no.
forth.
That word in the Greek can
Hey,
also
I'm still
mean
talking. Hello, Aisha,
the
I'm
word
still
in the Greek can
talking.
also mean young child, by the way.
Aisha, I'm still talking.
Why is this guy
He just
blaspheming every time I
conceded.
speak? He
It's
just
not
concedes the
he
argument.
just I'm just
Interrupted
He
him.
just
you
concedes.
stop
You
He
interrupting.
just
interrupted him
concedes the argument.
mid-sentence.
He's
Stop
being so
interrupting.
weird.
You're
It's
so
You
over, bro.
wild,
interrupted
dude.
him.
Stop
You interrupt.
interrupting.
What are we doing here? You
It's over
You're
because
getting
he's
whacked.
blaspheming,
All
bro.
right.
You're getting whacked
All
and
right,
slapped. Stop interrupting.
He's
Adam,
blaspheming,
relax.
dude.
Dude,
Relax.
okay,
Go
Dave.
ahead, Adam.
If I call a Muslim woman
Don't
Aisha,
focus
is that
on
a
that.
blasphemy?
Just go ahead. Make your point.
Okay, that's not a blasphemy. You should be proud if I'm calling you by your mother's name. That's the mothers of all believers.
Her
Come
name
on,
is
You
man.
literally
Korra.
insulted her 30 minutes ago. So
Well,
we know what
it's
you
not
mean by
my
that.
fault. It's not my fault
We know what
it's
you mean
not
by
my
that, so don't be
fault.
weird.
It's not my fault that she had sex
Don't
with the
be
young
weird.
lad.
What is wrong with this
It's
guy?
not, it says
What is wrong with this guy?
it says
He's
والغلام
so
Oh my
الأيمن
loaded.
god.
Okay,
حرما
You
عند
actually have
عائشة.
Bianca,
such a
do
filthy
you want to
mouth.
talk, Bianca?
I just think that her constantly running in circles, it it doesn't work, because anybody who's actually listening and knows what they're talking about knows that you just look ridiculous by trying to argue using ambiguous terms. You're using ambiguity to somehow redefine what the Bible is actually saying to argue what? What is the point? Like, you've gone in circles for an hour and a half now.
Yeah, wait, I'll summarize the point, just in case it wasn't clear. In the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22, verses 28 through 29, it says that if a girl is sexually assaulted and they are discovered, quote unquote, by a man, and she's not betrothed, that she marries the man that sexually assaulted her.
She didn't ask you to repeat your lies. She asked you what your point is.
She asked what my point
what's
is
your
the claim
point
that
on
I'm
doing
making.
this?
Wait,
What's
hold
the
on.
point?
I brought this up to Adam, by the way. Not to
but
you,
what's
not
the
to her,
point
to
in
Adam.
doing this?
Oh, I wanted to slap Adam with something from the Bible that he wouldn't know
But
how to
you're
reconcile.
lying. You're lying on the context, and we
I'm
disproved
not lying.
you.
I'm quoting it verbatim.
And then we gave you the opportunity to
I'm
provide
not lying.
evidence
I'm
that
quoting
this
it
is in
verbatim.
fact talking about little girls,
I'm not
and you were
lying. I'm
unable
quoting
to
it
do that.
verbatim.
Okay,
It literally says that if a
Bianca was
girl
chiming
is
in.
sexually
It's
assaulted,
over.
if a girl is sexually
Korra, you're
assaulted
done.
and she's not betrothed, then the man pays 50 shekels to her father and he marries her for the rest of
Korra,
her
you're
life, and he may never
cooked.
divorce her.
Sajida, why are we
Wait, hold
doing
on.
this?
Saying you're cooked isn't
hold on,
you cooking the argument.
Korra,
I'm not
stop,
gonna lie.
please. Sajida, why are we doing this?
Because we asked her, and not only did we ask her,
I went to Bianca.
we gave her
I'm so sorry.
enough time
Sajida,
to provide evidence.
Sajida, I went to Bianca. Why were you chiming in?
Oh, telling her that she got cooked because I
Okay, that's fine. We don't need the commentary. Type it in the chat.
chiming in all night, Dave.
Okay,
and you haven't said a thing to her.
Because I've been the same one debating all night.
But that doesn't mean you can interrupt us.
Well, I've been running 2v1s this entire time.
No, you've been interrupting. That's what you've been doing.
Before it was you, it was B and some other chick. We've been running 2v1s the whole time.
You've been interrupting. Go ahead, Bianca. Tell her again how she's wrong.
Okay, so the original argument that you presented was that this is what we were arguing before, was how this is about a little girl. Once you understood that you couldn't continue that narrative because there was too much evidence against that being exclusively a little girl, you then conceded to the fact that it could be in fact regarding a teenager. Either way, I'm still not understanding the point in bringing that up. Are you saying that this is an unjust law? Wait, so
teenagers can't be children? Wait, hold on. Yeah, I do believe it's unjust. But regardless, the point that's being made is...
it's a perfect law. It's a perfect and just law.
It's a perfect and just law that if a
100%.
child is sexually assaulted, she has to marry the man that sexually assaulted her?
Well, it's definitely in regard to a teenager.
So
a woman
like
of
a 13-year-old
betrothal age. And
like
then
13?
I just want to take this opportunity to highlight how you also lied about the Latin Vulgate.
Wait, the Latin Vulgate doesn't say that?
Wait. Let me finish what you lied about, baby. You
No, you made two claims. Wait,
Dave,
could you please help? They're not going to machine gun claims.
She can interrupt, but we get stopped every time we interrupt.
She made two claims.
Wait, let me finish. I'm explaining to you.
You made two different claims. So let's go one by one.
If I'm not allowed, I won't do this. Honestly, do you want...
You guys are unbearable.